This video is sponsored by ClipFlip. You can take a look at their website at www.clipflip.com.
Hey guys, today we're doing a review of the 5-watt Mighty Dwarf. Now what the 5-watt Mighty Dwarf is a singular speaker for your micro SD cards and your MP3 players as well. Now it does use vibration technology to basically transport the sound and make it a lot clearer, louder, and more bassy. So it does sound very nice. Now it comes in a plethora of different colors: black, silver, pink, red, blue, and green, and it will cost you $74.99, and I'll put the links to where you can buy this in the description below. So I do have the blue version here. Let me just take you around a tour of the Mighty Dwarf 5-watt speaker, and then I'll give you some information, and then I'll give you a test. So around the speaker, starting with this piece, you do have the LED. When it does charge, it is red, and when it is on or playing music or full, it is green. So red to charge, and then green every time else. And then obviously if it's not on, it's not on. The light's not on. Now right here you do have your rewind, your play, pause, and your skip, and then you also have your volume up and down. And this is only good for when you are using a micro SD card. So you do have a micro SD input right here on the side, and I'll show you that in a second. But the only time you can use these controls is when you are using a micro SD card. So if you are using an MP3 player, you will not be able to use these functions. Now right here is your on and off switch. You simply slide left to go and use it as a speaker, and this will be for MP3 players. No matter what it is, MP3, you will use it with your speaker. You'll use it right there. And then obviously if you are using a micro SD card, you simply slide to the right, and then it says micro SD, and then as you can kind of see, the LED is on. And it does use a lithium-ion battery, rechargeable lithium-ion battery, which I was pretty impressed with the battery. You can go for about a couple of weeks on a single charge, and I listen to music non-stop basically. I listen to music when I get home until at night, and I listen to a ton of music, a ton of dubstep, ton of rock, bass, heavy music, and I love it. And this was able to be used for a while without me having to recharge it constantly, and I was definitely very impressed with the battery that is pre-installed. And then finally right here, lastly, you do have your two inputs, one for mini B USB, so you can charge and also play your music. You do have to plug the mini B cable in, which you do get a cable right here, and I'll show you that in a second. You do get a cable right here, mini B USB. It does have a little input for your 3.5mm jack, so you simply plug it into your MP3 player, MP4 player, whatever you're using, and then you simply plug the other end into the micro USB. And then if you do want to charge the Mighty Dwarf, the 5-watt Mighty Dwarf, you simply have to plug it in to a USB input. So, and you also have that, it's one cable, play, pause, and charge. It's all one cable. So that's nice. Now, you do have right here your input, your micro SD input. Simply plug in your micro SD input. Simply plug in your micro SD card. Then you can start using these different controls, and then you are good to go. So that's basically it for the Mighty Dwarf. All around it, it's very, very nice. You do have this one little sticky piece right here, sticky bottom right here. You simply can put it wherever you're using it, stick it on it, and then you are good to go. But I personally like to leave it on in case I am moving it around, because it is very nice, and you'll definitely see in a second that this can be moved around, and you can kind of use it on different surfaces to give you nice different sound qualities. Okay, so let's show you the cable. Here's the cable right here, as I was talking about earlier. Quite a long cable, very impressed with the cable. You do have one end of the cable with both a 3.5mm jack end, and then a normal USB, and then on the other side you do have your micro USB. So plug this into the Mighty Dwarf to both play and charge, and then plug this into your computer to charge it, and plug this into your device to play the music. Now, let me give you a test right now. Of course, I'll be using royalty-free music. Let me just get my iPhone. Hold on. All right, so I did find a dubstep mix, which is nice. And I'm going to start by using this little tin can I found around the house. Just a little tin can. It is hollow, as you can see. It's hollow. Let me get the little piece outside. Alright, so it is hollow, and what it does is simply the bottom of the Mighty Dwarf and all around the Mighty Dwarf will actually vibrate, and when you put it on a surface, it will kind of use the hollowness, I guess you could say, the hollowness of the container or of the whatever you're using, and then it will basically make the vibrations bounce around to produce a nice sound that you will definitely love as much as I do. So what you do is you simply plug it in to your device. There we go. And then plug your micro USB end into the input right here, and just like that you can go and start using it. Of course, you don't have to plug it in unless you want to charge it. So let me just get that out of the way. So let me start right now. And I'm going to be putting my Yeti, which I do record all my audio nowadays with my Yeti. So let me just put it kind of on its side actually, so it can capture all the sound. Alright, so that sounds good. Okay, so let me start. Now you just need to plug this, turn it on. Alright, so this is with its off. It's not on a surface right now. So you can kind of hear it when it does touch a surface. The vibrations scatter, making it a lot louder and more bassy and very clear, and it's nice. Alright, so I paused it for a second. So that is basically what it does on a flat surface. And let me give you a surface that is more hollow, like this. As you can kind of see, it's about 3/4 the size. And by the way, just to give you some information, this does weigh 356 grams, I'm pretty sure. 356, let me just double check. Yes, 326 grams, which is a little less than 3/4 of a pound. So it's actually quite heavy, quite weight heavy, which is nice. It's kind of very, very sturdy feel. So let me play a little more bass heavy, a little more hollow material. So that just shows you what the capabilities of the Mighty Dwarf can do. Now let me finish it off with one more thing, and this is the box that the Mighty Dwarf actually comes in. Now it does come with some protective inner pieces, just to make sure it doesn't move around too much when you are shipping this. But I took them all out. I took all the pieces out, and I want to test it right now. So it is hollow, and here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Remember the dream?
So it is super impressive. I was incredibly impressed. The first time I used this, I was amazed. I was blown away on how well this actually is able to produce sound, and how well this is actually able to kind of omit such great sound, which for the heavy price of $74.99, which I do think is a little high for just this single piece of machinery, it's amazing, but it's a little high on the price scale for me. But if you're going to college, or you live in a dorm room where you just want a speaker system, this is definitely quite a nice piece to pick up. It's made out of almost like an aluminum material, and it does omit 360 degrees omnidirectional sound, which basically means that the sound goes out in all directions. It doesn't just go out like a normal speaker, kind of in one angle. It goes out 360 degrees. Incredibly impressed with this. It blew my mind, actually, with how well this can omit sound using vibrations and using the 360 degree omnidirectional sound. I do think it's a little pricey. $74.99 is definitely up there in the speaker system with this kind of size and weight to it. But overall, impressive, very impressive. I do like it very much. I would like to thank Mighty Dwarf. If you would like to read the written article on this that my good friend Sanjay did, you can do so on ilovegadgets77.com. Alright guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.